Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Get Help, here at Columbia Boone County Department of Public Health and Human Services. I'm Steve Hollis. I'm your host at this point. I guess I can call myself that. We've got a great panel today lined up about getting help with employment issues. Let me introduce our guest real quickly. We've got Marty Leathers. He's the Director of Missouri Division of Workforce Development. We've got Jesse Yankee, the Director of Missouri Women's Business Center. My friend Jim Witt, the Director of the City of Columbia's Supplier Diversity Program. And Steve Smith, who you can't see, but he's here. And Steve is the President and CEO of JobPoint here in Columbia. And so we're going to have each of our guests, like we've done in the past, talk a little bit about their organization and how they can help in the response to the pandemic. But quickly, just a reminder to get help. We're referring folks to 211. You can just dial 211 or go on the web. They're available 24/7. Or you can go to the City of Columbia's COVID-19 Get Help page, and that's on our main site with a link, and just click on Get Help. As a quick reminder, if you want to give help, we have our comohelps.org site. That's our collaborative between the City of Columbia, Boone County, the United Way, the Central Missouri Community Foundation, and Veterans United Foundation. We are collecting donations to help with the COVID-19 response here in Central Missouri, and we are allocating those on a daily basis. So if you have a little money and you want to make a donation, that's great. And as a reminder, you can also donate your time through the city's Office of Volunteer Services, and that link is on our comohelps.org website as well. We've got a great panel, so I want to dedicate all of our time to our guests today. We're going to start with Marty Leathers. Again, Marty is the Director of the Missouri Division of Workforce Development, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about unemployment and how to get help with that.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Thanks for having me today. As Steve said, I am the Director of the Office of Workforce Development in Missouri's Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development. Basically, what we oversee is we manage and support the public workforce system in Missouri. Right now, we are certainly on the front lines of helping Missourians respond to and begin to react from the impacts of COVID. Missouri's economy has taken a tremendous and significant disruption as it relates to COVID-19. Our focus over the last 8 weeks has been certainly promoting the safety and wellness of Missourians, our staff included, as well as the Missourians we serve. But really, our focus over the next few weeks is going to be pivoting to helping those Missourians get back to work, and really with the focus of helping Missouri skill up and get back to work, and really spending the next 120 days to do that. A bit of an update. Unfortunately, Missouri, 592,000 Missourians are now on UI benefits. Our unemployment rates about, again, 8 weeks ago was below 4%, and now we're above 19%. So it's a significant growth in a very short amount of time, a very significant shock to our system. We've spent most of our time helping Missourians access unemployment benefits. Our partner agency, the Department of Labor and Industrial Relations, oversees the Division of Employment Security, and they're managing hundreds of thousands of calls a day to help those 600,000 Missourians access the UI benefit system. What we're doing is we're doing our part of supporting about 5,000 of those Missourians a day through our workshops and our one-on-one concierge services to help them actually apply for benefits. Anyone who's unfortunately had to go through the process understands there's a tremendous amount of call volume and a very long waiting period and a significant hurdle to access UI benefits. Again, an unprecedented amount of Missourians are accessing these programs, and just the reality is the system can't keep up. What we've been able to do over the last 8 weeks is really pivot our services away from job training and job matching to help Missourians who need to access these benefit programs. So we've been doing a lot of work to virtualize our services. All of our staff is now working from home, and we've created call centers out of our homes and using computers and cell phones to now take those phone calls from Missourians, help walk those Missourians, and file for UI claims. And so we've been able to support some of the pressure on UI and help some Missourians who need that one-on-one service to access those benefits. So we do a live workshop from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day. where if you sign up for that workshop, we'll provide one-on-one service to you to help you file your claims, so that way you don't have to wade through the system. And it's been pretty impactful. We're now beginning to kind of wind that down and begin to focus on now what do we do about the 600,000 Missourians who need access to skills and training and employment as we work to get Missouri back to work.
Great. Marty, can you talk a little bit about where the best place is for folks to get information about your services?
So if you go to jobs.mo.gov, all of our services are listed right there. And as soon as you go to that page, there's a banner at the front. We've stood up a COVID response page, and you can actually, if you're an employer, there's a button you can click that says services for employers. And if you're a job seeker or someone who now is recently unemployed, even if you're temporarily unemployed and you expect to be called back to work, we have a number of services for you, so you can click on those buttons. One thing I think that's really important is many people think, well, I have to have lost my job to be able to get these services. That's not the case right now. Under the CARES Act, we're able to help self-employed, we're able to help temporarily unemployed, we're able to help gig workers, as well as permanently unemployed Missourians. So if you right now are receiving unemployment benefits, or you're in the process of applying for unemployment benefits, you qualify for all of our training and job search and other services. So, we want to be able to help you. If you can go to jobs.mo.gov, you'll get access. We can call in and have a person serve you one-on-one, or you can self-direct through our website and provide services to yourself. But we have a number of resources. And what's really neat is a lot of Missourians right now, the average Missourian is receiving about $756.34 a week on the employment benefit program. In addition to that, we have $2,000 to $4,000 in training vouchers per Missourian that's on unemployment that can help them. So over the next 120 days, we urge Missourians, take advantage of this. It's another, while we know it's a significant disruption to your life to be on unemployment, we have a tremendous amount of resources that can assist you during this time. So please take that opportunity. Skill yourself up. Even if you plan to go back to work with a new credential, go back to work with an opportunity to have learned a new skill set, and you'll immediately qualify. If you're on unemployment, you immediately qualify for a minimum of a $2,000 training voucher and up to $4,000 depending on the training program.
Great. Marty, that's really helpful. And we were so glad you and I were talking before we started about the need for some help for folks to navigate that system, and we were really glad to hear the job centers were helping with that. So really appreciate your being here. Marty gave you the website. I will tell you, we also have a link to that information on our City of Columbia COVID-19 Get Help page, so you can also find that information there. Marty, thanks again. I'm going to turn over to Jesse Yankee. Jesse is the director of our Missouri Women's Business Center, and Jesse's going to tell us a little bit about what they can do to help folks out during these times.
Thanks so much, Steve, and it's good to see everyone and everyone doing such great work for the community right now. So the Missouri Women's Business Center, we are part of Central Missouri Community Action. So we are a nonprofit agency, and we're a small business administration resource partner. So what we've been doing the last few weeks is really hand-holding small businesses through the different financial resources available to them, whether it's understanding how the Paycheck Protection Program works, or the SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan, and really what are those resources. And it's no secret to anybody on this call or anyone watching that our smallest of businesses really didn't get access to those resources. So now we're looking at what does that mean for our micro enterprises, our self-employed people, and what are the new opportunities? When the Paycheck Protection Program opened yesterday, what does that look like? So we do that through one-on-one counseling. We're a completely free service. And even though we are the Missouri Women's Business Center, we do serve men as well. We just don't advertise that as much. So we help men and women. And then another part of this, when we're not in COVID times, is we do, helping people start businesses. So people come in with an idea, and we help them navigate all of the legal, accounting, everything you need to do to start a business on the right foot. And so that's no different now. We actually have lots of people still wanting to start businesses. And so right now we have a lot of people, like Marty said, 19% of our state is unemployed. And a lot of those people are sitting at home going, this is the time I want to chase my dream of starting a business. And so we're doing all of that still. We offer one-on-one counseling. Again, it's totally free. And we're going to be launching our signature business planning courses online that have been traditionally in person. So this has actually pushed the Women's Business Center into a direction we were trying to go anyway. And so we're thrilled about it, and we're excited to work with anyone that needs help. So anybody that's on, watching this, that's either a small business owner that still has questions, any type of questions, or needs connections to resources, or you're sitting at home and saying, I don't want to be furloughed and I want to start a business now. We're the people to help you with that. And so you can go to mowbc.org, and that's how you can request an appointment and get information about our services.
Great. Thank you so much, Jesse. And I just want to remind folks that all of our providers work together so well here in Boone County, and none of these services are mutually exclusive. So you could be working with the Missouri Women's Business Center and also with Marty's folks. So you could be accessing the vouchers that Marty mentioned to skill up, and also be getting advice about a business you want to start. So now we're going to turn to my friend Steve Smith, who is the president and CEO of JobPoint here, and Steve's going to tell you about JobPoint services.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity to be here today. And JobPoint actually works with all the other panelists involved for the entities that they serve. We just had a very good call this morning with the Copic folks who operate the local job center, and we have a very exciting program, OJT program, for highway heavy construction on federal highway jobs that we're collaborating together on. But JobPoint trains and educates folks and helps them find and maintain employment. We're unique in the state of Missouri in that we have a youth build program, which otherwise is in Kansas City and St. Louis, for folks 17 to 25, most of whom do not have their high school diploma or equivalency. So we help them get their high set, what we used to call GED. And they also work, do community service, learn a number of other valuable life skills. And then they also work on building a new home or two a year. We actually have 2 of those homes completed. We coordinate through Randy Cole at the city's office downtown. And we have those homes available for people who qualify as low to moderate income buyers. They can get 20% down payment gifted at closing. And so they can buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home on 3rd Avenue today for $104,000 all in. So we have Youth Build. We have a rehabilitation program, which serves folks referred from state vocational rehabilitation, most of whom have some level of disability. Some of those folks we help find a part-time position, others full-time. A little bit exciting news there in that we went through the folks who furloughed themselves because of health concerns early on. Then we went through folks who were furloughed by their employers because of closing down a lot of businesses or certainly cutting back. And then we have seen some layoffs, but a lot of those folks who were furloughed or laid off are now starting to find other positions. And so we are seeing that come back. Many are in other positions than what they started with. And there are several people who will be called back as things reopen. But we are starting to see that trend in the local job market. Then the final piece that we have is we have specific job training programs. We have certified nursing assistant, which of course is in huge demand in today's environment. The state has helped out some there in that they are not requiring clinicals because, as you might imagine, the nursing homes where those clinicals are required have been a little reluctant to bring outsiders in. So we're finishing our current class with the Zoom approach. That's working very well. And a little bit of a workaround on the clinicals is when someone is hired by a nursing home, then they can work out with that employer to do their clinicals and get credit at that point. But they are able to be certified and receive, increase in pay for that certification by just completing the classroom work at this time. We have office technology programs, and we can focus that on a particular area like medical or whatever the case might be. They're also working off-site. Our office is currently closed to the public, but we do have folks assisting all our clients, job coaching or whatever the case might be, virtually. We have 3 construction-related programs. We have heating, ventilation, air conditioning. That's the last class that we've been able to set up, excuse me, on virtual training, but we will be starting that back up next week on Zoom as well. We have highway heavy construction, very much in demand, and I mentioned the federal highway jobs there that pay very well and have great benefits. We've been continue to place folks in those positions, both locally and throughout the state and actually the Midwest. And then we have a carpentry class, and those folks also work on the houses along with the youth build folks. As far as how we can give help, I'm going to give out a phone number of the lady who is at our office about half the time right now, Tanya Cook. Her number is 777-1524, and she is our registrar and helps people determine what the appropriate program for them is, gather some basic information. Our application, which is less than 2 pages, is on our website, so people can gather that, get together, and then we can go from there. So we are at a stage where we have several people who are ready to take and finish their high sets. So we're waiting for the university testing area to open, hoping that occurs shortly. And we have a number of people who are ready to get their driver's licenses or commercial driver's licenses. So as soon as the Department of Motor Vehicles opens up, we'll have another pretty good sized group of people who will be able to complete their programming into the job market. So with that, we certainly welcome the opportunity to serve folks. And if you have any general questions or comments, you can call our main office number, and we'll be glad to do our best to answer any questions you. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Steve. Can you go ahead and tell us the website for JobPoint, if you would?
Excuse me. The website is basically jobpoint.org.
Great. Thank you. JobPoint's been such a great partner and a longtime provider with the city social services contracts, and really appreciate all the work you do, Steve. I'm going to turn it over now to my friend and colleague, Jim Witt. Jim is the director of the City of Columbia Supplier Diversity Program. And Jim's going to tell us about what services they're offering.
Thanks, Steve, and thanks to everybody on the panel for all the hard work you're doing and some pretty tough times right now. I work for the City Supplier Development Program for the city, and my main function is to work with minority and women-owned businesses and to help facilitate their growth and success, within the City of Columbia and the surrounding areas. I also have a couple other things that I do. I'm executive director of Sharpen Entrepreneurial Development Fund, so we'll talk about that in a little bit also. And Steve is very, very aware of what we're doing in terms of recognizing our historic minority business community here in Columbia. And just to kind of set the tone for where I come from. Back in the late 50s, early 60s, we had urban renewal, and a lot of urban renewal funds, were divvied out all over the country. And as a result of that, what we found out, long story short, is that within all of these communities, the minority businesses and individuals were kind of, left out. And now that we are in, COVID-19 and a great big, pandemic, matter of fact, all over the world, we're finding that the same phenomenon still exists within our communities. And Jessie spoke to this a little bit, when she talked, our very small women and minority-owned businesses are having a tough time, are receiving, funds and to help to grow their business, particularly the PPE funds, the first time and even the second time, getting those funds are really, really been tough. My job is to, help facilitate that. I've been working with a few minority-owned businesses to help them um, uh, apply for the PPE loans, for any grants that are, available, locally, and hopefully raise some awareness so that as we get through this pandemic, in which we will, we'll be better able to support, our very, very small businesses as we come out of this pandemic and try to grow our economy. And that's going to be a big job. It's going to be big, tough. And in the end of all of this, we want to make sure that with all the billions and trillions of dollars that's been put out there, that the net result is that our very small women and minority-owned businesses are not, left behind, because that would be devastating to our, rebirth as an economy. So a lot of my work is to work with these companies and do whatever I can, to help them to be successful. Now, we do have the Sharper Entrepreneurial Development Fund. It's a very, very small fund. We certainly like to grow it. And we give out grants, to minority and women-owned businesses. And what we've done is a little bit different. And we don't just give funds out. We don't do operating funds, but we do targeted grants. And targeted, what I mean by that is that we have worked closely with the companies that we have given grants to. We've had one grant offering. It's been about $20,000. We did that first part of the last month we did it. And we've been working with these companies since then. And we help them in terms of positioning them to be ready to be successful when we get through this pandemic, And the kind of targeted things that we have done for companies is, if we felt that the management, leadership of the company needs some leadership development, we've paid directly for those leadership development programs. We've had companies that may have needed to add equipment, to help them position themselves for new markets. And so we try to address those needs. We bought a box truck for a company that wants to get into moving equipment when this whole thing is over. We got a company that needed a trademark done. They felt that was very, very important to their future growth. So we paid for that. Several of our companies need equipment, and we've been able to purchase the equipment and to get them started. One of our MBEs just started on a big new project, and right in time we were able to buy some key equipment that they need to fulfill that project. And the thing that we have recognized with small companies is that it's very, very difficult for a small company to set aside $1,000 or $2,000, to their regular operation, to buy equipment or to do something that will position themselves to enter new markets or to grow in different ways. And I think we all work with small business, a day-to-day grind, and every dollar that comes in has to go out for a dedicated purpose. And small business owners are always thinking about, man, if I had a couple of thousand set aside to address this particular the issue, or to buy some equipment, or to focus on a different area, or to beef up my management skills. I just don't have the time and the effort, or the funds to do that. And so that's what our target grants are trying to address. We'll do another one. We did a $20,000. We got another $20,000 that we'll give out in late May, and hopefully sometime in June, July. We'll do another 20,000. So that's our focus, and we think that it's been very, very beneficial, at least for the companies that we're working with. And we also work with various other organizations. Certainly Jesse, certainly Reddy, certainly the city, Randy Cole and his operation. To help just kind of coordinate efforts to address these needs. We have a Women and Minority-Owned Business Directory. It's mwbe.como.gov, and that has all of our minority and women-owned businesses that we have identified. There's a ton that we're still trying to get to sign up and join our website. And we have businesses that call in all the time and looking at that website to find products and services that address, minority-owned women and minority-owned businesses. We are working over the next couple of months to enhance that website to make it more, where we have better access to it and better information. So we're doing that. We're doing that now. I can be reached at james.witt@como. 573-289-2095. Since I'm working from home, that's my mobile number. And so that's pretty much what we're doing, and really appreciate all the services that everybody's providing. And I think we've got a team that's working together, and we've really got to avoid what I would call a sharp end 2.0 in terms of how we address the current needs of small minority-owned businesses and how we address the recovery and coming out of this pandemic. So, thank you all very much.
Jim, thank you so much. That was a great overview of all the great work you do. And I want to thank all of our guests. Hopefully our viewers have seen there are a wealth of resources available, whether you just need help navigating unemployment or you need to access resources to, as Marty said, skill up. Also, a lot of great resources for small business owners, including training and advice, even some grants. Also, if you need to learn a specific trade, Job Point here and our Career Center, I'll throw in, are great resources right here in Columbia and Boone County. So again, many thanks to our guests, Marty Leathers, he's the Director of Missouri Division of Workforce Development, Jesse Yankees, the Director of Missouri Women's Business Center, Jim Witt is the Director of the City of Columbia's Our Diversity Program, and Steve Smith, the President and CEO of Job Point. And again, just a reminder, we've got links to all of these resources on the City of Columbia's COVID-19 Get Help page. And also, you can always call 211. And we want to thank you for joining us today on another episode of Get Help, Give Help here at Columbia Boone County Department of Public Health and Human Services. And hope everybody has a great day and stay safe. Thanks, everyone.